So the last class we discussed about supply. Okay, market equilibrium, free entry and exit, and supply change in the supply related with that, and we studied an equation. Okay, a formula to find out the desired quantity. Okay, demanded and supplied, and the equilibrium price. I mean, equilibrium quantity, equilibrium price, and the firms that needed to produce the equilibrium quantity, okay, in the market. So all those things we clear. So this formula is important, and 0 is equal to q0 divided by q0f. Okay, so two mathematical calculations also completed. I give one homework for you that also want to complete and submit that. Okay, next we are moving to shift in demand, shifts in demand, how the demand is changing. Okay, clear. So let us examine the impact of shift in demand on equilibrium price and quantity when the firms can freely enter and exit in the market. Okay, so the situation is same here. Here also firms are able to enter and exit freely. Okay, from the previous section, we know that free entry and exit of the firm would imply that under all circumstances, equilibrium price will be equal to the minimum average cost of the existing firms. Okay, so equilibrium price is always equal to the minimum average cost. We studied that by discussing the situations. Okay, so no firms are ready to sell the product less than the minimum average cost. Minimum average cost. If any firms doing that, it will lead to a loss for that particular firm. So no one is ready to do that. Okay, clear. Now, the new equilibrium, the market will supply the desired quantity at the same price. Same price. That means the equilibrium price. In figure 5.6, so we'll discuss that. DDO, the demand curve, the market demand curve, is the market demand curve which tell us how much quantity will be demanded by the consumers at different prices. And P0 denotes. Okay, so we are going to that figure here. It is 5.6. 5.62 panels are there. Panel A and panel B. Panel B. Okay. So here we are going to discuss basically here you can see the quantity will be demanded by the consumer. Okay, how much is the quantity demanded by the consumer at different prices, and P0 denotes the price which is equal to the minimum average cost of the firms there. So Q0 quantity demanded and P0 is the price. I mean the average variable cost of production, okay, of the firms there. The initial equilibrium is the point E. Okay, so in both panel A and panel B, we are able to see the initial equilibrium. Initial equilibrium at the beginning. Okay, clear or not? That is denoted with the E, point E. Point E is the initial equilibrium here. Initial equilibrium. So shift in the demand curve will create another one equilibrium. Okay, new equilibrium. New equilibrium. That is in panel A, it is denoted with the letter F, and panel B, it is letter G. Okay, letter G. New equilibrium. One is the rightward shift in the demand, other is the leftward shift in the demand. Clear? One is rightward, other is a leftward. Okay, so the A is a rightward, B is a leftward. So check two panels. Okay, one is rightward, other is a leftward. Okay, so understand these ideas. Clear. The initial equilibrium is at point E, where the demand curve DD0 cuts PO is equal to minimum average cost line. Okay, so P0. So panel A. See here, P0 is equal to minimum average cost. This is the line. Okay. And for that price, the quantity supplied and demanded in the market is Q0. They're creating the equilibrium. And this line is the demand, the market demand curve, DD0. DD0. So the E is the initial equilibrium. Initial equilibrium. Now we are going to discuss about the shift in the demand curve will make some changes in this price and quantity, how it is. Okay, so cut the P0, the minimum average cost line, and the total quantity demanded and supplied is Q0. So total quantity demanded and supplied is Q0. The equilibrium number of firms is N0 in this situation. Okay. The equilibrium number of firms is N0 in this situation. Just understand it is a N0. We don't know the actual number here. Okay, now suppose the demand curve shift to right for some reasons. Okay, we already studied the reasons there. Okay, so here understand for some particular reasons, the demand curve is shifting from DD0 to DD1, DD0 to DD1. Okay, DD0 to DD1. Okay, so right-ward shift. At T0, there will be excess demand for the commodity. Clear? Clear. For this P0 price, there is excess demand increasing. Okay, so it is moving rightward. The demand curve is moving rightward, which means the demand increases, excess demand. Okay. Clear. At P0, there will be excess demand for the commodity. Some dissatisfied consumers will be willing to pay higher price for the commodity. So the price tended to rise. Clear. Okay, so the demand for the commodity is increasing for that price. I mean the minimum average cost. Clear or not? Minimum average cost of the firm. So some consumers are ready to pay more to purchase. Clear or not? Because demand is excess. Okay, so the price tended to rise. This gives rise to the possibility of earning supernormal profit, which will attract new firms to the market. So what will happen there? So demand for the commodity increased. Okay, the number of firms are not changing. Okay, the same number of firms. For example, 4 is the NO. Number of firms is 4. For this 4 firms, they are able to create more profit if the demand curve shift rightward. So, which means these 4 firms are producing more profit. It will attract others also, right? We already know one condition, what is that? A free exit and entry only. Free exit and entry. In this first panel, what happened here? Okay, demand curve shifted rightward because of some reason. Just imagine only 4 firms are there. Only 4 firms operating in this condition. Okay, 4 companies only there. Right. So what happened? Because of this shift in the demand, price of the commodity is increasing, right? It will increase, right? So it will attract others to start business or start production. Okay, yes or no? It will attract other people because these existing 4 firms are creating supernormal profit. So it will attract others to the business. Just understand. Is that clear? Yes or no? Anila Mohanan? Is that clear? Is that idea clear? Anilas? Yes. Okay. So this gives us the possibility of earning supernormal profit, which will attract new firms to the market. The entry of these new firms will eventually wipe out the supernormal profit, and the price will again reach P0. Okay. So instead of 4 firms, the firms number increased to 8. Doubled. Okay. So number of firms increasing in this condition, what will happen there? They are ready to supply more. Clear? They are able to supply more. If supply increases, definitely the price will fall. Right? Then what will happen there? The increased price again will go back to the initial stage. Right? Yes or no? Okay, that's it. So the entry of these new firms will eventually wipe out the supernormal profit, and the price will again reach P0. Now higher quantity will be supplied at the same price from panel A. So what happened? Price again remaining or going back to the original level. So what happening here? Supply will increase. Excess supply will be there. So price will decrease. Right. That's what. Okay. The entry of these new firms will eventually wipe out the supernormal profit, and the price will again reach P0. Now higher quantity will be supplied at the same price from panel A. We can see that the new demand curve DD1 intersects the P0, I mean the minimum average cost line at point F, such that the new equilibrium will be P0. For P0, it is a Q1 quantity. Quantity is increasing. Once it is increased, again decreased. As a result of that, quantity supply will increase in the markets. Okay. So F such the new equilibrium will be P0 Q1, where Q1 is greater than Q0. Q1 is greater than Q0. You can see here. Q1 is greater than Q0. Q1 is greater than Q0, where Q1 is greater than Q0, the new equilibrium number of firms is N1 is greater than N0. Okay, so new equilibrium number of firms increase. So that is N1, that is greater than N0 initial stage. Consider this is N0 and this is a N1. Okay, because of the entry of new firms, similarly for leftward shift of the demand curve DD2, there will be excess supply at the price P0. So in this condition, we are moving to the second panel, panel B. So here what happened? New firms came into the scene. As a result of that, supply increased, price decreased. Price decreased. Now coming to panel B, DD2, new demand curve, DD2. There will be excess supply at the price P0. In response to the excess supply, some firms which will be unable to sell their decided quantity at P0. Okay, so here what happened? Demand reduced for the product. Okay, because of some reasons, demand reduced for the product. So a shift in demand curve from right to left, a leftward shift in the demand. Leftward shift in the demand. As a result of that, we know that the price will decrease. Price will decrease. Okay, so number of firms in this condition, they are not ready to sell, or they came to know that it is not profitable for them to sell their product in the P0. Okay, P0, because price of the commodity reduced less than P0. Okay, okay, will wish to lower their supply price. The price tend to decrease, which will lead to the exist of the existing firms, and the price will again reach P0. Okay, so some firm will move away. So supply will regulate. Again, the price will move back to the P0, average cost, minimum average cost. Therefore, in the new equilibrium, less quantity will be supplied, which will be equal to the reduced demand at that price. This is shown at panel B, where due to the shift of demand curve from DD0 to DD2, quantity demanded and supplied will decrease to Q2, where the price will remain unchanged is P0. Here, the equilibrium number of firms N2 is less than N0 due to the exit of some existing firms, thus due to shift in demand rightward or leftward, the equilibrium quantity and number of firms will increase or decrease, whereas the equilibrium price will remain unchanged. So we proved that. Okay, so just check that, read it again one more time. Okay, you can easily understand that the idea is so simple. What is that? What is that? Already we read that. What is that? So number of firms increasing in the market. Number of firms increasing in the market. Okay, why the number of firms are increasing? For example, think there is only two firms or two companies in the market. They are producing the product and selling in the market. Clear? Clear? So supply is limited there, right? Supply is limited. Clear or not? These two firms are able to fix the price. Fix the price. Okay? Clear? And the consumers are ready to purchase also, because there is no other way to get that particular product. Okay. At the same time, number of other producers also came to know that these two firms are making more profit, right? Clear. So they also enter into that market and started business Clear. As a result of that, what will happen in the market? Supply of that particular product will increase like anything, right? Right? Yes or no? Yes. Then supply of that product increased. Actually, what will happen then? Price will decrease. Right? Price will decrease. That time, some firms came to know that, or they understood that it is not possible to sell the product for the new price. Okay, new price. So they will exit. They will stop business. Then what will happen? Supply will reduce. Demand will increase for the product. Again, it will increase. Right or not? Okay. So in between, we find already one condition only, that equilibrium price. Okay. Sometimes the consumers are not ready to purchase the product for a huge price, right? So the producers want to create that into a normal price. So they are unable to create a supernormal profit, only a normal profit. For example, we can say there are a number of service providers are there in our country, right? Number of service providers are there. Can you give some example for that? I'm not asking today's service providers. Before 4 to 5 years, there are a number of service providers. I mean, mobile service providers. Okay, like Idea, Vodafone, clear, Aircel, Airtel, BSNL. Okay, these 5 companies, the giant companies in India. Clear? Again, number of other companies also are there like Uninor, okay, Tata Docomo, okay, MTS. Example for some other service providers before 5 to 6 years. Clear? Understand? So before 4 years, Geo entered into the market. Why Geo entered into the market? They came to know that it's a profitable business. Almost all the service providers are producing more profits. That time you want to remember one thing, you want to pay rupees 1 or 2 for 1 minute call. Clear? Okay, 1 or 2 rupees for 1 minute call. 1 GB we want to pay nearly, or we used to pay nearly 180 rupees or something like that. Okay, for you consuming 1 GB of data. 1 GB of data. That also 2G data. 2G data. Okay, want to wait for a long time to consume the data. Clear or not? Okay, so phones are not that much upgraded those time. Okay, so that was so Geo also entered into the market. As a result of that, what happened there? What happened there? Many subscribers from other network they shifted from their original network to Geo. Original network to Geo. Clear? Then what happened? What happened? The supernormal profit of such companies reduced to normal profit, right? Supernormal profit that created by those big companies, because of the Geo, their profit reduced to the normal profit. Normal profits. Clear? Okay. That then Geo give more offers to the producers. I mean the consumers. More offers. Clear? Okay, so other producers or other network providers are unable to compete with them. They are unable to sell the product for the price that providing by Geo. Clear? Geo offered, what is that now offered by Geo that time? Any idea? That is like this: free calls, free calls. Clear or not? No charges for internet service for 3 to 4 months. Later, they that's what the plan. Clear. So other companies are unable to compete with the Geo. They are unable to sell for that price because it is more than their average cost of production. Clear? Clear? Sorry, not more than, less than their average cost of production. So they are unable to provide a service. So number of companies closed. What is that? Tata Docomo closed, Aircel closed. Okay, then Uninor closed. Like that, MTS that also closed. Number of companies shut down because they are unable to compete. They know that they are unable to make a profit, so they left. Okay, they left. Clear? Then how many companies existed there? Then after Jio, BSNL, Vodafone, Idea, Airtel, 5 companies. Okay, these companies are able to compete with the compete with the Geo, but that created a burden for them. Burden means what? A financial burden. Okay, for that competition, they spend more money, more money. Okay, so the service what they are providing today is more than their cost of production. Sorry, less than their cost of production. Again, I used to say more than, no, less than the cost of production. So it is a loss for them. Existing in the market, they are competing. They are competing. That created a financial burden for them. Clear? As a result of that, two companies joined together. What is that? Geo, sorry, Vodafone and Idea joined together to compete against Geo. Clear or not? So what happened? Again, number of firms reduced, right? Number of companies reduced. So Geo and Idea together, they made another single company called V. So 4 2, again it is remained to 3. Again, what are the Airtel, V and BSNL against Geo. Against Geo. In the beginning, I told about 8 companies. Okay, now it is reduced to 4, just half of that. And the BSNL is the edge of extinction. Anytime their company will close. Okay, because there is no profit for them. Clear? Understand? They are unable to compete with the other companies. And Airtel is made a statement that they want to increase the price because this service is a loss for them. One thing they want to do is they have to increase the price or exit from the market. Exit from the market. If they are increasing the price, means what will happen? All their users will port to Geo, right? All right. Clear or not? So this is a mechanism there. This is simple understanding. Clear. That is what going on in the markets. Going on in the market. Not only G, almost all the product is like that only. Okay. So sometimes some firms will create a more profit. Some others also will get attraction. They will also start the business. So they also start means what will happen? the profit will reduce. Okay, supernormal profit will reduce to normal profit. Okay, again due to competition, some companies will cheat from the market because they know that they are unable to create a profit. Okay, so they will leave. Clear? So that's called to be exit from the market. Exit from the market. Clear? So they are exiting from the market means what will happen there? Again, the price of the service will remaining into the same. Right? Right? Is that clear? Yes or no? No answers. No reply. Is that idea clear or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no doubt, right? So just to understand this figure one more time, read that. So various reasons are there. Okay, because of that, demand curve shift to right ward. Okay, within short time, again it will come back to the equilibrium price. Equilibrium price. Okay, because we know that an invisible hand is there that's playing there. It is always trying to create the equilibrium in the market. Create the equilibrium in the market. So always we are able to find that. Okay, so here we should note that when with free entry and exit, shift in demand has a large effect on the quantity that it does with the fixed number of frames. But unlike with the fixed number of frames, here we do not have any effect on equilibrium price at all. Okay, because free entry and exit is there. Anytime they can enter into the market, and at the same time they are uh, basically they can exit from the market also. Exit from the market also. Hope these ideas are clear. So these two things want to learn properly. One is the market equilibrium, free entry and exit. How the market equilibrium will form relative to the free entry and exit. And the next one, the shift in demand, the impact of a shift in demand in the market equilibrium. Market equilibrium. Clear? Okay, so if you are reading again and again, you come to know that it is not that problematic one. No doubts are there here, basically. Okay, simple understanding is enough to learn all these things properly, read it properly. Again, doubts are there means you can ask me also, no problem. Okay, now we are moving forward. The next application here, 5.2. Okay, applications. Okay, what do you mean applications here? So the things what we studied here, equilibrium, shift in the supply and demand, supply and demand. So so far we discussed a situation where there is no government, there is no government. So the firms are enter into the market freely and exit from the market also freely. No controls are there, no rules are there, or no regulations are there to control these firms there. Clear? But government is there means the things will change. So that's what we are going to discuss here. The government intervention is there means what will happen in the market. Okay. In this section, we try to understand how the supply and demand analysis can be applied. In particular, we look at two examples of government intervention in the form of price control. So here, the first activity by the government is what? Price control. Government will not allow any firms to sell the product for the price as they wish. Okay, so the government will control the prices. Control the prices first of all. Often it becomes necessary for the government to regulate the prices of certain goods and services when their prices are either too high or too low in comparison to the desired levels. Okay, so when the government will control these prices when the prices is too low or the price is too high, it is the responsibility of the government to control, or the private individuals will make use the opportunity to create money. Clear or not? Clear? So we already studied that before 5 to 6 months. This COVID test. Okay, what are they? What are the different types of tests, like antigen test? Any other test? Any other names of the test there for COVID? What is that? Huh? Give me some example. Come on fast. One name I told that antigen test. Any other tests are there? Any idea?
The government.
That's what government initiated, right? Antigen test is there. There is a type of test that we are using to find out whether the patient is infected with the COVID or not, or with the virus or not. Okay, like that, various different types of tests are there. Different names are there for that. Any idea?
RTT.
RTT, yeah. Then Okay, let it. So we take an example for antigen. Antigen. So if you are going to a private hospital for antigen tester, before 4 months, I saying that they will fix or they will take as much they wish, right? Nearly 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees, like that. Okay, different price. Okay. So the government came to know that a number of these kind of laboratories or private hospitals will make money if the government is freely allowing them to fix the price. Clear? Clear? So government is sealed that. What is that? 650 rupees is the maximum cost the hospitals or laboratories can charge for it or charge for that particular service, right? So government sealed. Understanding or not? So government is not sealing or not fixing means what will happen there? What will happen? These laboratories or the private hospitals will make use of this opportunity. So this opportunity in the sense, this is not a positive one, right or not? Everyone is facing problem with this disease. So this might be used by the hospitals for their own gains, personal gains. Okay, profit creating. So they will fix 1,000 rupees, 1,500 or something like that. Means they can make more money. So government will fix it what 650 rupees. So that is the role of the government here. Okay, not allowing any private individuals to earn more or accumulation of profit is not allowed here. All right. Or the price of the commodity is too less in the market. So farmers are producing, example, corn. Okay. Farmers are producing corn for 10 rupees, but the market, there is no demand for that. Okay. The price of the corn in the market is nearly 6 rupees. Okay. So that time government will fix a price for that particular product, like 15 rupees or 20 rupees, because they want to support the farmers, right? The government want to support the farmers. So government will not allow for keeping a huge price or for a low price also. Government will intervene or fix the price. Okay, so here understand. In this section, we try to understand how the supply demand analysis can be applied. In particular, we look at two examples of a government intervention in the form of a price control. Price control. Often, it becomes necessary for the government to regulate the prices of certain goods and services when their prices are either too high or too low in comparison to the desired levels. Desired levels there. So we will analyze these issues within the framework of perfect competition to look at what impact these regulations have on the market for these goods. Okay, clear? The condition is perfect competition only. First of all, 5.21, 2.1, it is a price ceiling, fixing the price. Okay, so no producer is able to sell more than that price, more than that price. So price is fixed. Whatever may be the cost of production, the price is fixed. No one is able to sell that more than that particular price that's sealed by the government. Okay, it is not very uncommon to come across instances where government fixes a maximum allowable price for certain goods. The government impose upper limit of the price of the good or services is called price ceiling. Underline that. Answer for a question. Price ceiling. Price ceiling. So if you are purchasing the product from the market, we are able to find a particular term there. What is that? MRP. Okay, MRP. What is MRP here?
Maximum retail price.
Course, maximum retail price. No seller is able to sell that more than that particular price. It is the maximum. It is the maximum. So the cost of production is less than that only, right? Right? It is including the transport cost or not? The MRP including the include with the include the transport cost. MRP. Transportation cost is included in the MRP or not? That is the question. Yes or no? What is your answer? What's your answer? Transport cost. No answers. Tell me. So the producer want to produce, right? The super stockist want to stock the product, and the super stockist will distribute that to the wholesalers. Wholesaler will stock it, and again they will distribute to the retailers. Retailers to the consumer. Retailer to the consumer. Okay. In between, a transportation necessary, right? Transportation is needed or not, right? So MRP is included. What included in the MRP? Transportation cost also included, right? So the producers don't want to create a loss, right? So that cost also included in the MRP, right? What about the advertisement cost? Advertisement cost. Do you know what is advertisement cost? So you know the most of the product what we are purchasing in the market from the market, they are brand ambassadors, right? Clear? Okay, for example, girls are more in number. So we will take a perfect example. Malabar Gold. Okay, Malabar Gold, right? Who is the brand ambassador for that advertisements? Any idea? Who is that? No idea. Okay. So are you watching television? Watching. Watching advertisements, that time you will skip the channel, right? Yes. Okay. So for economics, that also necessary. What is that? We want to know what type sort of advertisements are there, who are the brand ambassadors of different companies. Okay. So what is their market value? The people's, I mean, the celebrities' market value. Everything we want to know. Then we easily to be able to analyze the things there. Right. Okay. So thumbs up, Coca-Cola, Boost. Okay, come back. Malabar Gold, leave that. But you don't know, it's an older Hindi film artist, okay, hero, Anil Kapoor. He was the, or he's the brand ambassador. Let it. You might not know the person's name there. Let it. And come back to Boost, a beverage item, right or not? Who's the brand ambassador of Boost? Any idea? You're not watching that also.
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, right? Number of cricketers. So Virat Kohli will act in that ad for, I was thinking for 2 rupees, 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1000 rupees. What are you thinking? What is the cost of Virat Kohli to, I mean, act in that particular ad? That's in crores, right? Yes or no? In crores, 20, 25 crores will come, right? So that's what the brand value of that particular person. Okay. So 20 crore was spent. So that cost also included in the price of the boost. Clear? So what Virat Kohli received from acting in that advertisement, that also, who paid that money? Who paid that money? Their company or the buyers or the consumers? We only, the consumers only paid that. Understand? So transportation cost, advertisement cost, clear. So holdings you are able to see, advertisement in televisions or other medias you can see. So everything is included in that MRP, right? Everything is that included in the MRP. Okay. So the boost thing that the cost of production of boost is 200 rupees, 200 rupees, right? But the advertisement cost is 20 crore rupees. So the company produced only one bottle of boost. What will be the price of the boost? You can say. The company produced only one bottle of boost. Okay, the production cost, including the transportation cost, excluding the advertisement cost, is 200. Clear? Clear. I'm not telling about the MRP. MRP not fixed here. Okay, we are going to fix the MRP. And the advertisement cost, the company is paid 20 crore rupees. Clear or not? And what will be the price of the one bottle boost? And the company is not ready to produce anymore. They're stopping with that particular one bottle. Okay, anyway, it is the 200 plus the 20 crore, right? Right? Okay, that's it. So you know that the companies are producing not one bottle, lakhs of bottles, crores of bottles they are producing, right? That many quantities they are producing. All right. So just to keep that idea in your mind. That's it. So all these things are there in that MRP. So MRP is saying or telling to the consumer that this is the maximum price. You don't want to pay anything more than this. Okay, don't want to pay anything more than this. Okay, so if there's some areas, okay, we're going to some shops, basically the North Indian states. Okay, the cool beverages are the cold drinks are there, cold drinks, right? Like a Pepsi, Coca-Cola, or other beverages. The MRP might be 30 rupees. They will ask 35 or 40, 35 or 40. If we ask so, why it is so? Why you are taking more money from us? They will say that the charge for cooling that it seems. What is that? Charge for cooling, right? Okay. Are we able to, we want to pay it or not? Need or not? Is that necessary or not? What are you thinking? The cooling charge also want to pay or not? MRP is 35 or 30, and they are asking 40 from us and saying that the 10 rupees extra is the charge for cooling that bottle. We want to pay it or not? Will you pay, Aditya? Aditya? No, why? Why? So they have to spend electricity, right? They have to use electricity to cool that, right? Or chill that. So we want to pay for them, right? Yes or no? No, there's a provision is there. What drink is that? Cold drink, right or not? Cold drink should serve, serve. That like that only. Okay, that's what the MRP. That's what the MRP. Understand? So remember one thing. Okay, so that included in that MRP. So price ceiling is generally imposed on necessary items like wheat, rice, kerosene, sugar, and it fixed. Sorry, it is fixed below the market determined price. Since the market determined price, some section of the population will not be able to afford these goods. Okay, sometimes the government will seal the price of necessary items. You can see here wheat, rice. Okay, the base food items for Indians. Kerosene, the fuel, sugar also necessary, and it is fixed below the market determined price. Okay, always will fix below the market price. Market price. Clear? Since that market determined price, some section of the population will not be able to afford these goods. Okay, so if the price of these goods are increasing like anything, a section of the people they are unable to purchase this product and utilize. So price is sealed or price is fixed by the government. Okay, so let us examine the effects of price ceiling on market equilibrium through the example of a market of wheat. Market for wheat. We will discuss that. Figure 5.7 shows the market supply curve SS. So this is the market supply curve SS and the market demand curve DD for wheat. DD for wheat. So this is the equilibrium point. So Q star and P star is the equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. Equilibrium price. Clear? Clear? Okay. When the government imposes price ceiling at PC, okay. So PC price is price sealed. Price sealed. Okay. Before it was P star, okay, but the government sealed price that are reduced to PC, which is lower than the equilibrium price level. So P star is the equilibrium price level. The sealed price is a PC. So no producers are able to sell the wheat more than PC price. PC price. Okay, clear or not? Clear or not? Okay. So PC with lower than the equilibrium price level. The consumers demanded QC. Okay. So the price is PC. The demand for wheat is QC here. Demand for wheat is a QC. Clear? QC. Kilograms of wheat, where are the firms supply QC dash kilograms. Okay. So that time the producers will supply or the firms will supply QC dash quantity. The demand is QC. Okay, the price is a TC, but the firms will supply only QC dash quantity. Okay, therefore, there will be an excess demand for wheat in the market at that price. So we are able to find. Okay, supply is less, so excess demand will be there. Hence, though the intention of the government was to help the consumers, it would end up creating shortage of wheat. Therefore, to ensure availability of wheat to everyone, ration coupons are issued to the consumers so that no individual can buy. So that no individual can buy more than the certain amount of wheat, and this stipulated amount of wheat is sold through ration shops. That's what the PDS shops. Okay, which also called fair price shops. Fair price shops. Clear? Is that idea clear? Okay, that's it. So we will discuss the rest in the next class. Again, one more period is there for us today. So bye everyone. We'll meet next class.